Today my lecture is on Ode to a Skylark, composed by Percy Bysshe Shelley, one of the most remarkable romantic poets in the history of English literature. Though, two poems of P.B. Shelley had been prescribed in your honors part 2 syllabus. One is Adonais, a kind of personal elegy which was composed by P.B. Shelley for commemorating the death of John Keats, one of his close friends and also a favorite poet to us. And This to a Skylark is a poem which has been written by P.B. Shelley to idealize the song of the Skylark. And in this poem, the poet has employed a series of similes to glorify the music or the song of the Skylark. In honors part 1, you have got another poem, Ode to the West Wind by P.B. Shelley. P.B. Shelley is believed to be one of the most remarkable romantic poets in the history of English literature. And at the same time, he is also believed to be a poet of revolution, a revolutionary poet. Shelley is also considered to be a poet of regeneration, a prophetic poet, optimistic poet, a poet of imagery. So we may attribute many qualities in case of the personality of P.B. Shelley. Ode to a Skylark is considered to be an ode. You all know that ode is a kind of lyrical poem addressed to someone or something. Shelley has composed many odes, so also his friend John Keats. Here in the poem To a Skylark, the poet is addressing the bird named Skylark. At the very outset of the poem, the poet is addressing the bird Skylark not only as a bird, but also as a spirit to get or to give higher position to the Skylark. The Skylark has the tendency of soaring or rising to the sky, ignoring the earth, ignoring the living of earthly life. The Skylark, has the tendency of rising to the sky, but whenever the Skylark soared to the sky, at the time of soaring, the Skylark had the habit of singing together. So the Skylark at the same time can fly as well as can sing. But the song of the Skylark is totally unpremeditated. It is not possible for anyone to deliver or to sing like the Skylark with any sort of premeditation. If we make a comparison between to a Skylark and Ode to the Nightingale, Ode to the Nightingale is a remarkable poem of John Keats. In both these two poems, we will get some sort of similarities because both the poets were influenced, overwhelmed with the song of the bird. But P.B. Shelley, at the time of living in Italy, was accompanying his wife Mary Shelley in one evening, and in that particular evening, P.B. Shelley was very much overwhelmed with the song of the Skylark, and then he had composed this poem To a Skylark. So, Shelley has attempted to idealize, to glorify the song of this bird Skylark. In order to make a comparison, he has employed a series of similes. And those similes are employed just to glorify the song of the Skylark. He has taken the simile of the rainbow cloud. From the rainbow cloud, nothing can shower such a melody as the Skylark can. He has also given the simile of rain. As the rain can freshen the flowers, leaves in the midst of nature, so also the beautiful song of the Skylark that can give melody to the human heart. It is true that whenever the Skylark was in the sky during the daytime, the presence of the Skylark cannot be seen, but the music or the song of the Skylark is still listened to the human being. Particularly the poet can hear the music of the Skylark. He has also given the simile of the rose. A beautiful rose can give fragrance to all. If the rose is, in the midst of the leaves, or if the rose is not visible to the people, still the fragrance of the rose can be visible to all, or can be, felt or smelled by anyone. Similarly, the music of the Skylark is listened or audible to all the human beings, though the presence of the Skylark cannot be seen. The poet has also given the simile of the glowworm. The glowworm is very much beautiful to see, and that glowworm can be seen even in the midst of the leaves or the flowers. The poet has also given the simile of the high-born maiden who laments for the loss of her love with the sad music, and that sad music is also compared with the song of the Skylark. So with this series of similes, the poet attempts to idealize the song of the Skylark, and he has told that the song of the Skylark is far better than the love song or the song of triumph. No song of love, no song of triumph can be comparable to the song of the Skylark. And the Skylark could sing like that because of his inspiration from somewhere. The Skylark may get the inspiration from the mountain, which is very much extraordinary, or the plain land, which may be considered to be very much extraordinary, that the human beings could never see. And because of that inspiration from nature, the Skylark may have the capability to sing like that. And the Skylark can also sing like that because the Skylark doesn't have the negative things that the human beings are experiencing. Human beings are experiencing hatred, anger, jealousy, envy, many things like that. But the Skylark is free from all sorts of tendencies like that, and therefore it is possible for the Skylark to sing in that way. The Skylark can also sing in that way because of its extraordinary thought regarding death. As the human beings are always afraid of death, human beings are always concerned about death. Human beings think death to be very much negative, but the Skylark doesn't think in that way, and therefore the Skylark can sing in that way which any human being cannot sing. And the human beings are always in the tendency of looking before and after. Human beings look to the past or look to the future. Human beings are not satisfied with the present. As the human beings are not satisfied with the present, and therefore this gladness or the delight, ecstasy, joyfulness cannot be felt by human beings as the Skylark can feel. Human beings can love, but there is the dissatisfaction in the love among human beings. But the Skylarks don't have dissatisfaction in their love. You know, in the life of human beings, the most significant song is the song of lamentation, not the song of joyfulness. And that is why that music or song cannot be overwhelming like the song of the Skylark. You know, the song of the Skylark is very much, extraordinary. No music of the world can be similar to the song of the Skylark. No treasures in the books can be comparable to the song of the Skylark. The poet, likes to get inspiration from the Skylark so that he can disseminate or deliver this gladness to other human beings. As the poet also makes a comparison between the Skylark and the poet. A poet likes to convey his thoughts to many human beings, but the human beings initially are not interested to get the thought of a new poet. But a poet has to work very hard to make his idea understandable to others. So also in case of the Skylark. But the poet likes to get inspiration from the Skylark to convey the thoughts of the Skylark to other human beings. And if the poet can get half the gladness of the Skylark, it will be possible for him to make the human beings glad. That gladness is very much necessary for the painful world. Human beings are suffering from different types of pains, sufferings. And because of these pains and sufferings, it is necessary for human beings to get some sort of gladness that the Skylark is delivering, disseminating, spreading in the whole world. As human beings look towards the sky to get the moonshine, the shine of the moon, to get gladness. In a similar way, human beings can get inspiration from the Skylark if the poet can be taught by the Skylark the half of the gladness that the Skylark could have. So in this way, the poet is making the conclusion that the Skylark is not only a bird, rather it is a sort of spiritual being or spiritual something. And because of that spirituality, the Skylark has the tendency to be connected with the heaven, to connect it with the Almighty. And as the Skylark is connected to the Almighty by soaring towards the sky, and therefore the divine inspiration that the Skylark was getting is extraordinary and which is necessary for the sustenance, for the well-being of the human beings. So the message of this poem is that the spiritual connection, divinity, and the ignorance of all the negative things of human beings can be the way to get perpetual happiness that human beings are aspiring throughout his life. Thanks to all of you for your patient hearing.